Well, hello, hello. How you doing? How you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. How are you doing? This is episode number 370. And, well, I'm actually multitasking right now. So if you hear any weird sounds in the background, it's because I'm doing laundry at a time when I normally would not have to do laundry. But as you know, if you've been listening to me for the past several years, as the kids say, I like to keep it real. Okay, so if you hear any laundry going on in the background, deal with it, punks. All right, episode number 371, my friends. You know, it's really weird. I was going shopping, and as I was getting prepared to go shopping, I was looking at the television, and they had a story about Apollo 11 50 years later. 50 years later, and they were talking about, and they were interviewing the surviving pilots or showing, old interviews from them, and they were showing how the guys would talk about, we did this and we had to land. It was a 20-foot square we had to land on, and we had to do it. If we went this way, the rocket would have blown up. If we went that way, we would have bounced into space, and how dangerous it was and how incredible it was. And they talked about how they were greeted as heroes when they came back down, as they should be. They were 230,000 miles away from the planet Earth on the moon. No other human beings had gone that far and set foot on something that wasn't Earth, and these people did it. They came back, and although there was a space race, I understand that. What happened when they came back, they were hailed as heroes. Ticker tape parades, interviews, world tours, and as they said on the special, it was more along the line of everybody embraced them because it was basically humanity had made it to the point where humans as a group, went to another planet. We did it as a collective. That's, according to the special, how people felt at the time, because I was an infant at the time, so I don't remember. But that's the funny thing about the whole situation. Space race. And if you're another country and you're trying to get to the moon also, when America beats you, it's got to be very similar to when your team is in the playoffs, trying to win the Super Bowl, right? And you're rooting for your team, and they get knocked off, and another team gets the shot at going to win the Super Bowl. By the time that rocket launched, no other country was ready to do that, right? Obviously. So basically the American team was in the Super Bowl, and their opponents was failure and death, right? Now, at that point, you got to root for them because they're human beings. You're a human being, and you just want to see the advancement. You want to see it happen. Right? Just like when you're watching sports. If your team is in the playoffs and your team gets knocked off, you're not going to just not watch the Super Bowl. Of course you're going to watch the Super Bowl, but you want to have a rooting interest, and you try to find something about the two teams that are left and try to find one team to root for. Right? Like when the Saints went to the Super Bowl, my hometown team, the Eagles, were not there, right? The Saints were making it. And at the time, the Saints were dealing with, the floods and all the things that came with it. So you couldn't help but root for the Saints. You wanted the town to get that damn Super Bowl. You wanted them to win. Why? Because they went through all of that. You went through all of that hardship. You wanted them to win the Super Bowl because, come on, make them happy. Make something good happen. Now, human nature is the same, because quite frankly, if the Saints had played the Eagles in the NFC Championship game on their way to the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have been thinking about the floods and all of that. I would have been like, yeah, I feel bad about that. I wish you well, but this is football, punk. To hell with you. Yes, I would. So would you if your team was there. But the thing was, they were hailed as heroes when they came back to Earth. Worldwide. Everybody wanted to meet them and touch them and hug them and congratulate them and tell them how great they were. But that was 50 years ago, right? There was no internet 50 years ago. There were probably only 3 channels, right? So I often wonder, as I sat back and I watched that special, I thought, is there anything that could happen right now that would make everybody at that level celebrate something? Is there anything? Some people might think that maybe they'd go, well, what about a sporting team? What about What about the Super Bowl? Well, the Super Bowl is humongous here in the United States, and the rest of the world watches it, but they don't think the same way about it that we do here. What about the World Cup? The World Cup is huge every place else, and in America we watch it, but we don't care about it the same way everybody else in the world does. Sorry, it's the way it is. So it's not going to be that, right? The only time people come close to that feeling where everybody's together and everybody wants to help everybody out, the closest they come to it is when there's a tragedy, 9/11, a tsunami, earthquakes, where everybody wants to help. But even then, it's not the whole world. Everybody's aware of it, but everybody's not super invested in it the way that you would think. And what I started thinking about is that, people want to go to Mars now. Do you think if somebody actually makes the move and goes to Mars, if they go to Mars, do you think we'd all get behind the astronauts going to Mars? That's way further away than the moon, way more dangerous, right? Because if they have a problem out there, we can't get anywhere near them. That's over for them. And quite frankly, it was the same thing with the moon, but this is even worse. It would take minutes. It would take 20 minutes for an email to get from Mars to the Earth, something like that, some kind of astronomical number. So what I'm thinking is, oh man, that might be the thing that does it. That might be and nowadays we'd have so much technology. We'd be able to see everything. We'd be able to watch the trip. We'd be able to watch the astronauts. We'd be able to see everything. We'd have high definition 4K, 8K, 80K video of the landscape from Mars. But would it unite everyone? Or would we still say separated the way we are now? I think I'm from the last generation of people that actually had, when families just normally and naturally had dinner together and normally and naturally actually watched the same television programs. When I was a kid, my sister was a kid, my brother was a kid, we'd all sit there and we'd watch television with the family. We'd sit there, we'd watch all the same shows. It was great. We'd watch the same cartoons. I mean, they weren't that many channels, but still there were enough channels where we can move around. Now everybody's got the cell phone out. The young relatives, when they come to visit, all of a sudden they're sitting on the couch next to each other, texting each other from across the room. I'm like, you can't even look up from your phone. No, they literally were texting each other from across the room. You got a bunch of people sitting in the room, everybody looking at their own individual phone. Everybody's looking at a different streaming service. Everybody's got headphones on, and you're in a room with relatives and loved ones, and you're all looking at a phone. Oh, how things have changed. So if somehow we didn't send astronauts off to Mars, if we did that, would we unite behind these astronauts? Or will we get bored quickly? Will we have a situation where before everybody, they're on the moon. Oh, they're on the moon. And they go, they're on Mars. And that's cool. I'll watch the highlights. Huh? Yeah, I watched the Mars highlights. Yeah, somebody's going to chop it up and put it on YouTube, and it'll be like the, stuff that happened on Mars today. I'll watch that, unless it's too long. If it's more than 5 minutes, I ain't watching it because I ain't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? I know they're on the Mars, but I got some stuff I got to take care of. Also, there's a couple of videos I'm watching about a dude that put some stuff into a Coke can, and it blows up and the old lady falls down. I got to see that, man. That's way better than that Mars thing. Right? Imagine the astronauts going to Mars to do their thing, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, we're approaching the planet. Everything looks good. We're approaching the planet. Just want to say it's been a pleasure coming on this trip with everybody. And, what's really great about being on this trip, this long trip to Mars? I'm really, really hungry, and nothing satisfies me like this wonderful Domino's pizza. Domino's Pizza delivers, and eventually they'll even deliver to Mars. Whoa. You doing a damn Domino's pizza commercial from the damn shuttle? Are you crazy? This is the greatest thing that humans have done since we landed on the moon. And you sitting there trying to make money off a damn Domino's placement? What the hell is wrong with you, man? Put the damn Domino's box down. We're scientists, man. We're about an hour. We're going to be on Mars. You sitting there holding up a damn Domino's pizza box? That's disgusting. Yeah, I got 50 grand for this. You think that matters? You think anybody cares? You think anybody cares about some damn Domino's pizza and the 50 grand you make? That's disgusting. Right? And besides, what's even worse than that is that damn Domino's pizza is going to be really, really not as refreshing as it would be unless they had a new Coke like that one I'm drinking right now, because Coke is it. I got 50 grand too. But I often wonder, man, because like Carl Sagan said, man, and I paraphrase, it's like, it's, when one of the satellites turned around as it was traveling through the universe and it looked back at the Earth and it said, everything you love, everything you know was on this little speck of dust suspended in a ray of light or a beam of light. I paraphrase him because I don't remember exactly how he put it. But if you get to a situation like that where you actually get to leave the planet, I wonder what I would feel like. Because we've all seen the videos of the Earth from the moon and videos from satellites. And that's not the same thing as literally having yourself off the planet and looking back at it. There's got to be something special about that. You know what I mean? There's got to be a part of you that looks back at it. And when you're looking at the planet from outside the planet, you got to be thinking, everything's there. I mean, where I am right now, the moon or Mars, I can't live here. The only place that life can exist, as far as we know, is right there on that little blue ball down there. And when you look down at it, you start realizing how dumb a lot of the things that we fight over actually are. Somebody believes in a different religion than we do. So what? But people blow each up over it. Somebody's a different gender than I am, and I treat them badly. Why would you do that? Someone's a different color, and you treat them badly. Why would you do that? Someone has more or less money than you do, and you treat them badly. Why would you do that? Someone's from a different location than you are. Why would you do that? Someone is from this section of a city, and you're from another section of a city, and you hate them because of it. Why would you do that? Now, I know we can't take all 7 billion people off the planet and have them look back down at the globe to get the perspective of somebody who's someplace where there is no life. But there's got to be something inside of us that makes us just, even while we sit here on the planet, just kind of sit back and realize off this ball, there's nothing for us, at least as of right now. So we got to be here, and we got to make the best of being here. So if you see somebody that looks different than you or believes something different than you do, lives in a different place, speaks a different language, has a different religion, you realize how silly it is to use that as a reason to dislike someone or a reason to think that we're better than someone else. It's just a really, really weird and stupid thing to do. And as a species that can literally do amazing things, we can speak to each other one side of the planet to the other from a phone that costs $40, right? With streaming services. We can fly. We can leave the planet. We can go to the depths of the ocean. We can translate languages with that same $40 phone. Yet, if you turn on the news, if you turn on the internet, you see people hating each other over things that just don't make any sense. Now, I know this episode is a lot more serious than the ones I normally do, and I'll go back to saying stupid crap next week. But it was just really weird for me. And but by the way, that's my sink sucking down the water from the washing machine. If you're wondering what that sound is in the back. I'm sitting there using going to space to make a point, and all of a sudden you hear that sound in the background like some kind of Mars creature showed up and ate me. I just would like to say we should all love each other. Get him. He's a human being. He's trying to make people love each other. Get him. Uh, but as I watched that special and I looked at that, I just started thinking from a bigger perspective. So I know that I don't dislike anybody because of their religion or their skin color, the amount of money that they make, or their gender or anything like that. I don't. And I'm pretty sure the majority of people that are listening to this, there may be a few people that do discriminate against each other that listen to this. And I want to tell you right now, you need to stop doing that crap. Let me ask you a question, a person, the minuscule amount of my audience who may or may not have prejudices. I just realized that even though there's probably a really, really tiny amount, I have this habit of wanting to make sure that my audience continues to grow, and I don't want to lose any subscribers because of what I just said. So if you listen to me, and you're going to continue to listen to me, you can feel free to discriminate against people for whatever you want to, as long as you continue to listen to me, because it suits my purposes. I know that's kind of self-serving, because I know you're out there going, I don't like people over 5'10" and I hate them. Redheads, they ain't nothing. I hate them. And under normal circumstances, I would go, hey man, please. That's wrong to hate somebody because they're taller than you and because they have red hair. Don't do that. Well, if you're going to scold me like that, well, then I'll just stop listening to your podcast. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not get hasty. Okay, how about this? How about don't discriminate against the tall people, but you can continue to hate the redheads? Is that good? Yeah, I can deal with that. Yeah, because I got a couple tall people in my family, but I don't have any redheads in my family. I'm just going to discriminate against the redheads. Yeah. Granted, I have about 5 or 6 friends who are redheads, but well, I'm going to openly discriminate against them because they're redheads. Is there any way you could discriminate against the redheads except the ones that I know? Oh, how many did you say you know? I know about 5 or 6 of them. Okay, you can have up to 10 redhead friends that I will not discriminate against. What about their families? What about they have children? Okay, I'm going to extend that. Your friends who are redheads and their family and siblings and children, I will not discriminate against them. But every other redhead, any redhead that you don't know as of right now, I will viciously discriminate them and say nasty things about them in public. Hey, whoa. And you'll continue to listen to my podcast. Yeah, I'll listen to your podcast. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. To the rest of my audience, I just want to say, listen, I know what you're thinking. Hey, come on, S. Anthony, you did this nice episode about how we should love each other and the differences are not important. Yeah, I understand that I just did that, but I'm a businessman and I need to make sure I keep my subscribers and continue to have my subscribers grow. And if I have to have, a couple of fewer subscribers that discriminate against redheads and it helps me, then I'm just, wait a second. Wait. That's a small amount of people that are going to hate the redheads. And I realize I probably have more redheads in the audience than people that discriminate against redheads. I got to rethink this. Yo, dude that discriminates against redheads. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, I don't need you listening anymore because I realize that I have more redhead listeners than people that discriminate against redheads. So the hell with you. Oh man, that's not cool because I like listening to the podcast. You can still listen to the podcast, but I'm going to need you to stop discriminating against redheads. Oh, that's tough. Let me think about this for a minute. The podcast is funny. I learned some things in the podcast. I've been listening to you for a long period of time. I like you. I like your other podcast too. It's good stuff. I get 2 good podcasts out of you. Yeah, that's good stuff. But I really love discriminating against redheads. I mean, I like to, when they walk down the street, I'm like, hey, Carrot Top, and they say, hey, Richie Cunningham, hey, Archie. I like to say stuff like that to the redheads. It pisses them off, but I like to discriminate against them. Didn't you? Whoa. Have you ever dated a redhead? I don't see why that's important. Wait a second. I think we have a breakthrough here, guys. Did you date a redheaded lady? Yeah. And what happened with that? She cheated on me, man. Oh, so that's why you hate redheads. Yes, that's why I hate them. Dude, it was one lady. Okay, I mean, I've had a lady cheat on me before. I don't hate all pretty black women with big butts and big breasts. In fact, if black women with pretty black women were built like that, they could probably smack my grandma and I'll be cool with it. I mean, no, I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Well, maybe my grandma. No. That's beside the point. The race, forget I said that. What I'm saying is, listen, don't hate redheads because the one redhead girlfriend you had discriminated against you. Just make sure that you stay away from that particular woman and realize the overwhelming majority of redheads, and as you know, I know a lot of them, they're great people. There's no difference. It's just the color of their hair, man. That's all. It's the hair color, brother. We're all brothers and sisters under the skin, okay? Yeah, you're right. I should not discriminate against all redheads because of her. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just be cool, right? I mean, God, how long ago was that? Oh, man, it was last year. Oh, man, so it's kind of fresh for you. Yeah, it was horrible, man, you know. I remember she went down to Philadelphia to watch this comedy show, and she said she saw this black dude who was really funny. It's about 5'8", had dimples, gap in his front teeth. You know, that's, you know, the description, that's not really an important, wait a second. Open your mouth. Nah, that's all right, man. That's no problem. You got a gap in your teeth? No. Why are you scrunching down? I didn't know that was your girl, dude. It was just a hot redhead that came to the show. I did not know that was your girl at the time. You can't hold that against me because I gave the girl the good business and then she dropped you because you ain't shit. That has nothing to do with me. Hey, I did you a favor, right? You now know that if she's just going to meet an incredibly handsome man at a comedy show and then bang the crap out of him, you should now know that that's the kind of person she is. I helped you out, not just by entertaining you with the podcast, but by giving the girl that I didn't know was your girlfriend at the time the good business, and you now know that she didn't really love you. Yeah, I can see your point. I can't take it out on you, yeah, because you didn't know. So you're going to keep listening to my podcast? Yeah, I'm going to keep listening. And you're going to stop discriminating against redheads? Yeah. I'm going to stop discriminating against redheads. Okay, thank you. Let me end this podcast. You know, we'll talk afterwards, okay? All right, great. Do you know any other redhead hot ones? What? Never mind. Anyway, folks, just chill out over that. It's going to end the podcast and we can talk later on. Folks, I want to thank you guys for listening to the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 371. It's been fun talking to you as it always is. Always remember, show love and support to everybody, even if they don't look like you, if it's a different religion, it doesn't matter. Show them love. The way I showed that hot redhead love, I gave it a good business. Bro! Oh, sorry. This podcast is everywhere. Stitcher Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spreaker, Spotify. It's everywhere. If you like this podcast, tell a friend, subscribe to this podcast, rate and review, and also check out my other podcast, the S. Anthony Thomas Show on Anchor. Basically, you can just Google me and all my stuff will show up, okay? Much love to you. I got to talk to this dude about his redhead hate. I want to make sure I calm him down and get him going. I'm definitely not going to talk to him and see if he knows other hot redheads I can jump on top of, even though I 99.9% of the time I date black ladies, but I mean, that one woman was an exception. I had to jump on top of her. Dude, I'm sorry. Oh God, I gotta stop saying everything I'm thinking. Okay, folks, I'm going to say goodbye to you the way I always say goodbye. We're going to do it on the count of 3. Are you ready, my friends? Of course you're ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. S. Anthony out.
Go. S. Anthony Thomas. Go. S. Anthony Thomas. Go. S. Anthony Thomas. Go. S. Anthony Thomas. Go ahead and laugh. Go ahead and smile. cheer. We're gonna have a good time.